in the northwest. Sajjad Karim joins me now. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Actually, it's good afternoon here, but good morning.
Yeah,
yes.
You're in Brussels, aren't you? So good afternoon to you just about.
Good afternoon.
I mean, you heard there with our reporter, Michelle, in Manchester city centre, and the percentage of people who knew about this was zero. How can and should people find out about their rights under European law?
Well, first of all, well done BBC Manchester for at least trying to raise this issue in the minds of people. These rights have actually existed for some time, but the fact of the matter is that when people are booking, airlines are not telling them because it's not in airlines' interest to make sure people are fully aware of their rights, and it's about time we did something about that. There are many people right across the northwest, some of whom have in fact been getting in touch with me when they've had difficulties in trying to get compensation, or indeed just trying to inquire as to whether they have a right or not. The circumstances under which people can claim differ as to whether they are travelling within the EU or outside of the EU, but there are a number of sources that people can go to in order to find out what their rights are.
I mean, you've said that, it's not obviously not within, the airport's interest, the airline's, interest to tell us about this. Unless someone else tells us about it, we're not going to know. Isn't it your job to tell us about things? Isn't it, to help your constituents, for you to put your flag up and say, hey, wait a minute, guys. So why don't we know?
Well, one of the biggest difficulties that MEPs have is trying to get the media to focus upon positive things that are done by the European Union and the European Parliament, and I'm afraid...
To be fair, if you'd sent me an email, Sajjad Karim, and said, oh, by the way, Sam, feature this on you, I would have bitten your hand off, would have said, fantastic. I didn't know about this.
I'm grateful to you for that, and I will certainly bear that in mind for the future, but I can tell you that there has been extensive numbers of emails going out from my office on a number of very positive initiatives that we've done, and the strike rate in terms of the media coverage has not been very good indeed. But what we do tend to see on an ongoing basis is very false and negative coverage from the European Union coming out all the time. But the BBC is striking against that, it seems, and actually telling people of their rights and what we've done for them here, so I welcome that.
We've only got a minute or so left, but whilst you're here then, is there anything else we should know about?
Yes, there is, and we all have our own experiences, and indeed I have my own horror stories involving companies like Air France, for instance, who try and bend the rules. For instance, the point is that if you are denied boarding, and I had an experience where Air France was simply letting people onto flights knowing full well that those flights were not going anywhere. And this whole issue of extraordinary circumstances is what needs to be tested. So no matter what circumstances have actually led to you being denied boarding or your flight arriving more than 3 hours late, do not feel shy of coming forward and putting in a claim, because all of these matters are open for testing at this stage.
All right. Well, obviously Air France aren't here to respond in any way to the claims that you've just made, but we will, make that available to them if they wish to get in touch and say so. But thank you very much. There's MEP Sajjad Karim there talking about this news story, which I find extraordinary, and I presume you're probably joining me in saying that you knew nothing about it in the way that I knew nothing about it as well until today. But there you go. So do get in touch with us if you want more information on this, or in fact let us know if it's something you've ever claimed upon.